Holla peeps, it's your girl Sheree reporting live for SchreeTV. Waiting for another press or police briefing at the Capitol building. That should be happening any moment now. As we all know, there were shots fired. Some woman tried to ram into the gates of the White House. I'm watching Martin Bashir on MSNBC. It's exhausting.
We thought we heard shots. There's a lot of police cars, and then we heard shots. And then the police told us to go back. We were simply walking back to our office. They were told us to walk back. So those senators, Luke, were actually outside when the shooting started. I'm sorry, Martin, come again. Those senators were actually outside.
Alright, good. It looks like it's going to start here in a moment.
Yeah, that's a common occurrence on Capitol Hill, especially on days like today when it's nice. It's almost, you could say, summer in October. A lot of them walk outside. And it's interestingly enough, Martin, you bring that point up, because when the Gabby Gifford shooting happened, there was a lot of concern, especially among security personnel here on Capitol Hill.
They need to come on.
Members of Congress walking outside.
We want to know what's going on.
There was a sort of a movement, hey, why don't
what made the lady go off?
They're totally secure. But
you know,
Congress, very much this idea, this is the people's house.
Is Congress going to open up now and go back to work and allow furloughed workers to go back to work now?
But they're now going about the people's business because they don't want to let this incident stop the mechanisms of government, Martin.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Luke. And I should remind our viewers, we were told earlier that there would be a Capitol Police briefing at 4:15. That's been delayed somewhat, but we'll bring it to you live at any moment. But joining us now
obviously,
who I believe is actually
the briefing has been delayed.
Hi, Martin. Yeah, this is still an active crime scene. You can see it, I'm sure, behind me. This is where that Capitol police officer who has been injured was hurt. You can still see the car that crashed actually sitting in the middle of the street on Constitution Avenue, which is, of course, a major thoroughfare here in Washington. What we're waiting on from the Capitol Police is just more of a discussion of exactly what happened. It's still murky as to who shot first, who was in the car. There's another car that's further up that road that, as you can see, the suspects continued to drive up Constitution. So this police officer was actually stopped, according to eyewitnesses I've talked to, by barriers that are built into the road here at the Capitol. And those barriers are designed to prevent exactly this kind of an event from happening. So the barriers that are closer to the Capitol building itself are actually up all the time, and a police officer has to lower it for you if you have a pass to drive through. But many of these roads are used by everyday Washingtonians, people who commute to work. I mean, if you shut off the traffic on this road, it would create even more headaches for an already congested area. So most of the time, those barriers are left down, which is what you saw happen here.
I'll turn the TV up when they start the press conference.
According to eyewitnesses here.
The briefing, as they call it.
We're just trying to determine at these crime scenes exactly what happened on the outside of the Capitol building.
And Casey, can you help us with any further information on the condition of the Capitol Police officer who was medevaced out from the scene?
We're still waiting to hear more details about his condition. At the last press briefing, they did say that he's at least stable at this point, so hopefully the news won't be too dire. And you were talking earlier with
yeah, a police officer got hurt.
Also showing Harry Reid on the
he had to be medevaced.
Majority Leader Harry Reid actually he started his career on the Hill as a Capitol Police officer, working the night shift. It's something that he likes to talk about quite a bit. So this would be an incident that's
like obviously things got dicey.
Connected to as far as a Capitol Police officer being hurt.
Right. I believe, Casey, that we may have some sound that we're going to play now from a witness who observed what happened.
A witness.
6 gunshots, very rapid succession. Blam, 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 blam. Right before that, maybe 5 Capitol Police cars came up down Pennsylvania Avenue down to the parking lot here, towards the monument over there on First Street. And shortly thereafter, I heard those gunshots. I saw of the Capitol.
An individual there describing the chaos. Casey, as you said, we're waiting for this police press conference. Do we have any more details about when we should expect that?
At this point, it's already been delayed past what we expected. So, of course, this is somewhat typical for a situation like this. Law enforcement needs time to sort of collect all of the information, and they want to make sure that they can come and provide some level of new detail. We do know that the roads are still all closed in this area, well past the crime scene itself. Many people who have cars that are parked around here have been told that they're going to have to leave them here for several hours. They won't be able to move them off of the curb. So at this point, we're still just waiting on a new tidbits of information, Martin.
Thanks so much, Casey Hunt, there live for us from the scene. And I can say that we're now joined by Delegate Eleanor Holmes-Norton with us from Washington. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Martin.
I imagine that this is almost too much for you to bear. The second shooting in the Capitol that you represent in, what, 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, and I thought we had settled down. In fact, when I first heard of shots outside the Capitol, I said, my goodness, I thought all the madness was on the inside now. But the shots about the Capitol was alarming news in light of the Navy Yard shooting. I first heard it, of course, not from the television, from my staff had been in the cafeteria and said everybody was running, came up and said, Congresswoman, I'd like to close your door because there's a lot of running going on. Then, of course, we had the alerts and we learned that there had been a shooting. The shooting is unnerving, but what I want to say to you, Martin, is that when something like this happens, we all need to be on the alert. But usually it's over alert, and you don't get back to business as usual, and that hurts the capital city, and that keeps us all alarmed. I went through this after 9/11, and I have to tell you that after that, I do think that the best thing to do is to get back to business, or else the capital city is going to be all upset every time there is anything of the kind that happens. We have the best police and the best protection right here in the Capitol that anyone could ask for. And you see what happened. They came from all over. There must be at least a dozen police forces in the District of Columbia. So if anything happens, there's going to be enough protection so that people should not be unduly concerned.
We heard you speaking on the floor earlier this week, pleading for DC operations not to be subject to this government shutdown. Can you answer this question? Was there a full contingent of law enforcement at work today as normal?
There appears to have been. And if you saw the number of police on the outside, you would have thought there were them and then a whole lot more. The Secret Service, of course, because the White House had been involved earlier when this car apparently tried to...
Oh, they need to come on with this briefing. I'm going to get this video up, y'all. Keep you updated throughout the day if you don't have access to this information. I love y'all. Be easy. Have a good day.